It's the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and let's have a look now at what's going on in Great Flinders football. A week of rest, or a weekend of rest for most people in Great Flinders coming up this weekend. It certainly wasn't so last weekend. Chris Prime joins us on the line right now. Primey, how are you, mate?
I am good, Reed. Yes, it is a week of rest for us people over the age of 17 this week.
It certainly is. The famous Kinlow Cup and Pedlar Cup for the netballers will be run and won in Cleve. We'll get to that a little bit later on. First, though, we need to have a look back to last weekend's round of A-grade matches in Great Flinders footy. And we're going to start with the close one, which was Lock hosting Cummins-Kapini Cougars. And whilst Cougars may have had one or two important players out, Lock gave them everything they could handle, Primey. Couldn't quite get over the line. In the end, it was Cougars 10-9-69, Lock 8-8-56. Big effort from the Roos, but a solid win for Cougars.
Oh, look, a really good win for Cougars. As you said, they had a couple of key players out. But their coaching staff, if they're listening, they'll be saying, well, we had 20 out there, they had 20 out there, so you play with what you've got. And they'll be absolutely wrapped to come away with the win. But Lock will have something to work on from there. Look, they go, well, okay, yeah, this didn't quite work, that didn't quite work. We had our chances, well, we can build from that. So I think both sides will take a fair bit out of the game, and I think from what I hear, the first half especially was pretty physical, and not in a bad way, but like just hard at the ball, and that probably continue on, but Cougars just got away with it in the end.
Indeed. Not much in it at half-time, 6-5 to 5-2. Not much in it at full-time, really, when you look at it. Only a 13-point win. Ness booted 3 for Cougars, as did Foster. You'll notice in the goal kickers, no Johan Wagner. Tossold kicked 2. Wagner being one of the exclusions that we mentioned for Cummins-Kapini Cougars. But for Lock, Blaze K booted 4 goals alongside Beatty, who booted 2. So that's an interesting one. K going forward, kicking 4.
Yeah, it is. And I guess they need to always need to find extra avenues. And there's a lot of guys that say they're forwards. They don't always work down there. But, Blaze normally can pop up with 1 or 2.
So another avenue to goal for Lock. That's a good game of football. Well done to both sides there, and they may see some action against each other later in the season. All right, let's move on to your boys next, and it was a bit of a tussle, as you would expect, between Ramblers and Tumby Bay at Cummins, but unfortunately for your Tumby Bay boys, mate, just not enough avenues to goal in the end, and it was Ramblers who got you 9-7-61 to Tumby Bay 5-3-33. My mail on this game is that Tumby had plenty of the ball at times, but just couldn't finish up front, whereas Ramblers, when they did go forward, they looked far more dangerous than Tumby Bay.
After coming out of the change rooms of the B grade, I reckon I watched a quarter and a half before Tumby really got into their forward line. Ramblers weren't scoring, but Tumby just weren't breaking through half forward. So it was a pretty tough day at the office for the Blues. And realistically, they kicked a couple of late ones in the third quarter and got back within 9 points and looked part of a chance. But, yeah, Ramblers just kicked 2 or 3 early ones in the last quarter. And Tumby fought back for a couple to maybe give them another sniff. But, yeah, one there at the end just opened up the gap a little bit more. Harvey Pedlar was good up forward, presented well, and I think he ended up with 4 for the day. Style was excellent in the ruck, just too tall.
Yes, indeed. Logan Dennis, I think, as well, booted 4 goals for the Maggies. So they only had the 3 goal kickers on the day, but Nigel James and Crossy, the only 2 multiple goal kickers for Tumby. So Kelly, in his return, Fair, Cave, Watson and Laurie, the best for the Blues. Modra, Fitzgerald, Stoll and Mickey Franklin going well for Ramblers. But really, after trailing for most of the day, it was one of those games where Tumby was sort of close enough for a lot of patches, but never really threatened to win the game.
Yeah, true. Ramblers kicked the first one after half time, and it sort of felt like Tumby weren't in the game at that stage, but they were only 3 goals down. And then they kicked 2 just before three-quarter time, and all of a sudden the game was alive again. So it was a funny old day. Like it was a real tussle. It was heavy underfoot out there, but 4 goals to 3 at three-quarter time, it can be anyone's game. But as I said, Ramblers broke away. They doubled their score in the last quarter. So
all right, last match of the round. Now, Elliston District's got a taste of what it is that United Yolanda can do when they are at full rat speed. And they were grumpy coming off a loss. 23-9, 147. Elliston Districts 3-8-26. This game was put to bed early. It was all over at half-time, 11-5 to 1-5. And then it was a question of the margin. And they didn't take the foot off the pedal in the second half, the Eagles. They played angry, grumpy, and are ready to go for the back end of this season.
That's one thing about the Eagles over probably the last 5 years. They don't take the foot off the accelerator. When they get you down, they put you down fully. They just kept going. Elliston Districts will be a little bit disappointed. I think we talked about this one last week. Maybe it was one they might be able to squeeze a win out of, but I think you tipped them, so you were sorely wrong, Rick.
Way off base. Should know better than that. Havelberg, got to mention his effort up front there, booting 11, if you don't mind, to be best on for the Eagles. He had some plenty of handy support acts up forward as well with Cretton and Howie, two of the Cretton boys anyway, booting 3. Luke Howie booted 3. But I had a look at this Elliston Districts lineup on paper and trying to see if they were missing a couple perhaps. And the reality is I don't think we can put it down to that. I mean, Cooper Van Dorn was back and in the side for them, a good mate of Cody Rosalia's. So they were probably even strengthened more than perhaps what they normally were. Can you see any names missing?
I couldn't. Havelberg's a big in for Yolanda. Like straightens them up. Elliston Districts have struggled against like the taller forwards throughout the year. He's a pretty handy full forward, and like that just frees up their midfield. And their midfield would have been hurting from last week. And the Yolanda boys, they don't like losing. They don't like losing 2 in a row. So with having that target forward, they would have just been going, yep, let's get it out of the guts. Bang, 1 kick. And as a forward, 6-6-6 rule. Oh, it's a godsend. You know, I wish it was brought in 30 years ago.
Well, as we head to the Kinlow Cup break now, if we have a quick look at the ladder, Cougars 8-0, they're on top. The Eagles 6-2, so they're relatively safe in terms of final spots. They've got Ramblers breathing down their neck for the double chance, though they're 5-3. Okay, so Lock holding 4th spot at the moment, 4-4. Elliston Districts now out of the top 4, 3-5. Tumby Bay 2-6. The Saints yet to have a win. So it's getting tough now for Tumby, isn't it?
I think so. I think we said last week they needed to win last week to really give their finals chances a good run. But I think it'll be pretty tough from here.
Yeah, two games and a lot of percentage makes it tough. Elliston Districts still in the hunt, of course. There's only a game and a big chunk of percentage between them and Lock. But at the moment, Lock's certainly in the box seat to play finals footy.
Oh, I think so. I think the top 4's they're there, and it's their spots to lose from here. And it's more likely Lock, although Ramblers' percentage isn't as good as Lock. So it will come down those late games in the year hoop between Lock and Ramblers. And Elliston Districts need to probably get over both Lock, Ramblers, and next time they meet Tumby.
Okay, let's talk Kinlow Cup. This will be held in Cleve for the first time in a long time, given that their club rooms blew down in a freak storm a little while ago. They've been rebuilt, and this is, I guess, the first major event that they will be hosting in terms of EP football. So I'd be happy to get back to the old stomping ground there, priming at Cleve Oval.
Oh, look, I think they'll be happy to have. I know they're happy to have footy back there. It's a great club rooms. I can't say I ever enjoyed playing on Cleve Oval. That might be some of the towelings we got. We did have a couple of good wins there, but yeah, look, it will be a great day. The under-17 carnivals, Kinlow Cup's always the best footy, I think, to watch. Like a lot of these guys that have made the team have played A-grade and B-grade footy, so they've got the talent and they just run with it on these days.
They do. A lot of these kids have either been to the city, played a bit of footy over there. They're playing senior footy at their clubs, as you said. These are the best of the best that are available at the under-17 age bracket. So for Great Flinders, your two games, 10 o'clock, first game, Cleve Oval against Eastern Air, the host. So there's an interesting start. And then, of course, midday, you'll go at it again against Lincoln Districts, and that should be a cracking game of footy as well. So, look, tell us about the team. The Maroons always put a good side out there. You've already won the Mortlock Shield and the Norwood Cup. Can you make it 3 from 3?
Oh, look, I mean, these games, I keep saying, when they're a little bit shorter games, like it makes it tough. You have to get your matchups right. And Phoenix Foster and Harvey Pedler up forward, like there's a couple of good targets there, and they'll go through the midfield. Like Elijah Foster will probably ruck for the day. There's guys around here that have played senior footy and playing good senior footy. So you got a couple of Turnbulls in there, and they're hard as they come. So Dusty Ware running around, Mitch Lowby, I can keep naming them. These guys are playing senior footy and proving their worth in A grade footy. So they'll be hard to match up on. So where they finish, it is about those matchups and getting these things right for those shortened games. Shirls will have them up ready to go. So, look, they'll be pretty confident. They don't go up there to lose it. So, when the team's playing Great Flinders, they'll know they're out for a tough game.
Haven't seen a Great Flinders side yet that's devoid of that confidence word. So, we'll see how they go at Cleve Oval. I guess they'll know by midday how close to win the hunt they are. The final will be at 3:10. And this is one of the great weekends in Eyre Peninsula sport, the Kinlow/Pedler Cup weekend. The best young colts and the best young fillies going at it next door on the netball courts. So there'll be a big crowd. It always is. Lots of people from all over the EP will be getting along for this, and it's a good venue, Cleve Oval. So, Primey, looking forward to it, mate. We'll see how your Maroon Army go next week when we catch up. Anything else before we wrap up today?
No, look, for those that aren't going to the Kinlow, look, enjoy the weekend off. Behave yourselves, and let's all stay safe.
Yep, spot on, mate. We'll catch up next week. All the best.
Cheers. Thanks, Reid.